Hello everyone, I am ShadowRock. Today we're going to be discussing Mega Man Timelines number 1. The first actual Timelines comic has come out. Before we were covering the free comic book day book, but now this is the first paid comic. You got to pay $5 plus shipping for some people for it. But to help me talk about it, I am joined by ColeManX, aka ColeFam, and also RockmanHQ.
Hello, happy to be here.
Hello, also happy to be here.
Well, I'm glad you guys are happy to be here.
That's my first time on the ShadowRock channel. I think it is.
I think so, yeah.
I think I normally just torture you in your streams in the chat.
Well, since this is your first appearance, do you want to just talk about your channel real quick?
I don't really know what there much is to say. I kind of just now make videos on random Mega Man lore. Sometimes special characters, sometimes whatever topic comes to mind. Generally, whatever I see being argued about in Reddit recently is kind of what I go with on a topic. So, it's
Sounds
kind of
awesome.
the gist of what I do.
Yeah, I like your lore videos. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're good. They're getting better. Like it's like just a ramp up, and I'm not jealous, man, but I'm jealous, man.
That's okay. I'm Envy Man.
But I don't think I've been on the channel since we've done dive content.
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead and
I
introduce
think
yourself.
it's been a while, but hello everyone. ColeManX here, and I'm from the ColeFam YouTube channel. I do lots of Mega Man stuff. Sort of like the RockmanHQ stuff. So if you're a fan of that, then you'll probably be a fan of mine. But it's more what if type theories, or just debunking dumb things that no one in the world cares about, or just talking about X armors because they're like the coolest part of the series to me. So it's just fun stuff. Always fun stuff. I think it's fun. Please
I
agree.
do love my X armors.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, now we're all introduced. Let's talk about this comic book we got here in our hands. So,
Yes.
for anyone not in the know, this is the first of the Timeline series. Today we're talking about the classic book, but next month we're going to have the X book, and then Zero, ZX, and then Legends. No About Network stuff yet, unless they get their licenses for that. That's a topic for another day. Classic seems to be kind of taking place in the middle of the events of Mega Man 11. You guys got any theories about that? We'll start with Coleman.
I think it's just kind of doing its own thing. It's like 11's happening. It's not necessarily the games. It's just let's make it expedient. He's not going robot to robot. It's just there's two robots right now. Mega Man, go help them. Go help the city or whatever. And I think it's cool. It's definitely a change up. Like, as much as I love the stages that these would be based on, I think it's really cool that it's just a city being demolished. And it really raises the threat level. But in this comic specifically, it doesn't really get too dark and dire. It's just like exciting, And I like that Mega Man 11 specifically is getting representation in comics, since it's technically still the new hotness, and we get to see these new designs, just on the page, and I think that's really neat.
Totally agreed. Do you have anything to add to that, RockmanHQ?
Not much. I'm kind of with him. I don't really think it's intended to really be anything in any game story per se. They don't really bring up anything from 11 in it, other than just Blastman and Torchman are your baddies here in it. And they we'll get into it later, but there's definitely a few things in here that makes me think they didn't play the game.
So just to give a brief synopsis of the story, we see Mega Man and Roll hanging out at home, but then on the news, Blastman and Torchman are attacking the city, and they show like a little Mega Man 1-up icon, I guess, like kind of to draw him in, and so they can fight him. They talk about how the two Robot Masters are there to retrieve the prototype double gear system from Mega Man that was installed probably right before this. I'm guessing like they're kind of loosely basing it off of the events of 11, but it's definitely very non-canon from like what actually happens and all that, since he's fighting two Robot Masters at the same time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Overall impressions though, you want to start with that, Coleman?
Yeah, so I went in kind of cautiously optimistic. You know, I didn't want to go in thinking like this is going to be the greatest thing ever. But, you know, I was very pleasantly surprised. It was just a page turner. I think the story was really fun. The characterization of the bosses was not what I was expecting. In a good way. You know, it was a lot of fun. And I gotta say the MVP of the issue is Rush, because every panel he's in is hysterical. He's always making a face. And it's it's the funniest thing. So I think they did just a really good balance of, you know, it feels like Mega Man, but it feels like a new take, but it feels legitimate. You know, it doesn't feel like, oh yeah, this is Mega Man. He's that blue guy that shoots, I think. You know, it feels like, oh yeah, this is a Mega Man story, and I think that's great. And I didn't expect it to end where it did. We will get there, but it made me definitely want to see this story continue, because I was really invested by the end.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to thoughts about the future in a little bit, but for now, HQ, what is your overall impressions of the comic?
Well, you haven't given yours yet. You're the host.
Alright, sure. I'll go first. Alright, so overall, I really loved it. There's definitely a lot of... What's the word? Like, there's a lot of sense of danger, like a sense of urgency to the whole thing. It's like they're literally blowing up the city. And actually, they mentioned Symphony City, which apparently is from Mega Man and Bay's Challenger from the Future, like that WonderSwan game.
Yeah, I saw that. That's a deep cut.
That is a really deep cut. Didn't think they would go there, but I guess I wouldn't put it past them. That was a nice touch.
I'm more surprised they were allowed to do it.
I mean, it's no Monsteropolis, but...
Well, no, it's just because Flynn wasn't allowed to use anything from...
oh, really?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't allowed to touch it for when he was doing Archie, so that's why he made the quip in the time travel issue with, like, I'm your Shadow Rockman, or Mega Man, whatever. It's like, I get it, I get it.
That's cool. Okay. I guess it's a Bandai thing. They must be really protective of their WonderSwan game that no one cares about.
Going into more of my impressions, Coleman mentioned the Robot Masters' personalities, and they seem to pretty much follow how they are in the game, but turned up to 11, because we still have Blastman talking about how like, explosions is art and all that meme stuff, but it really is turned up to 11, because here we have him just grabbing a Met and loading it with explosives and then pushing it into the walls and stuff. Like, Blastman is a complete jerk in this comic. It's insane.
He's a psychopath. Like, man,
he's
just
insane.
the way they draw his face, and he's just reveling in it. It's good stuff. But man, what a B word.
Oh yeah. He almost kind of almost crosses into the line of like a villain that you love to hate.
Absolutely.
But then Torchman actually kind of sort of turns over a leaf in the middle of all this. Like, at first he's antagonizing Mega Man, but he's like, Okay, you know what? I'm just fed up with Blastman. Like, bro, put that in. Blastman's like, no you, and there's some heartfelt moments there between Torchman and Mega Man. It's like, what are you fighting for? Stuff like that. And like Coleman said, I love Rush and all this. Like, I love all the faces. Like, there's a lot of funny faces throughout this comic, but also a lot of cool faces too. There's a lot of one-liners from Mega Man as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're definitely going off of like the Americanized Mega Man more than like the Japanese version of some of the lines, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, like, it's really tugs at the heartstrings towards the end. There's a lot of action throughout. Something we talked about with issue number 0, the free comic book day book, was like there's just so much visual damage on display. Like, you see these robot masters literally get impaled, almost torn apart. It's insane, like how much detail they go into, like, just showing the battle damage. That definitely continues with this book. But overall, it's really cool. I loved it, and really interested to see if there is going to be more to this. What say you, HQ?
I think I'm going to be the odd one out here.
Oh.
All right.
I went into it with kind of high hopes because issue 0 was phenomenal, in my opinion. I know Archie set a pretty high bar for me for Mega Man comics. So I went into this one expecting something along the lines of like what issue 0 was. And I felt kind of let down by it. I felt like it was rushed, and there was way more emphasis on just making explosions with Blastman rather than like making him like kind of a character. Like a lot of the things he's yelling about isn't really like engaging to what's going on. He's just kind of like, I'm making art, kaboom, kaboom, and it's like, oh, that's okay, cool, I guess. And then you have the whole like Torchman getting taken out by the weapon that he beats. Are you kidding me?
Well, he used the weakness too close to the bomb itself, and it blew up. And he's like, "Oh no, I didn't expect that."
Okay.
It could, like from like all the.
Have you ever lit a
build-up,
bomb that's right in front of you? It hurts.
They built up that page so much from like the sneak attack, the Meteor bomb, that you would think Torchman would have seen it coming, but I guess he didn't. It's kind of weird.
He's too busy being honorable.
Like, he just gets like completely just cast aside. Like the Blastman was okay, and I'm like, okay, Blastman wasn't my favorite from 11, but like Torchman was pretty cool. He was up there. So I was kind of excited to see him do something, and then he just gets one page where he's all like kaboosh, and then that's kind of it. Then you get to see him with a bunch of rebar sticking out of him.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. It's really disappointing that Torchman didn't get to do much other than spout his usual stuff about warrior pride and whatnot. All he does is berate Blastman, and Blastman does a sneak attack on him, then he's out for the count. Even after this cool panel where he like gets, fired up and ready to go, but nope, you don't get to do much other than that.
Yeah, really. He even has the big words "Farouche." Come on.
Yeah. Come on, man. You did the Farouche. You gotta do something with that.
Farouche, man.
Yeah, that kind of let me down. And then, like, the other thing was, I didn't ever feel, what's the correct word? Like, the devastation that was going on. Like, I'm seeing explosions, I'm seeing blast marks, but throughout the whole issue, or I shouldn't say maybe the whole issue, but, like, the bulk of the fight here, there's no backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's all just color. Like, dramatic effect color, or, like, this synthwave techno like explosion color stuff going on. I don't really know how to describe it. Like, I don't see the city getting destroyed behind them, and to me that's kind of like a letdown, because it's like, if this is really devastating, like I want to see like windows breaking and debris around them, you don't really get to see that throughout the fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Fair point.
I'm going to give a counter to that, because I was gonna bring that up as a positive that I like. And
All right, go ahead.
I like that, background's very sparse, but I like that the color theory of it all is like dictating the action. Every time there's like a fight or someone yelling, it's very red, very, kaboom, like it makes you think of action, explosions, etc. And then when things calm down, everything goes blue, and it's really calm, really calm. It's really calm. And then the last page happens, and then the color starts coming back up from the bottom, and I think that's just really well designed. But I do agree with you that it would be cool to see remnants of stuff happening in the background beyond the colors. But I just do like the color theory being used in the background. I think it's very neat.
That very cool detail indeed. And it's not like
I think
they
you could
don't
do both.
ever show the damage.
Oh yeah.
Like when things calm down, like when we're not doing action shots, there are shots of like rubble and debris everywhere that shows the damage. But HQ is also right that like we could have seen a lot more details, like the windows breaking.
Well, like even when you said like the rubble, like I'm looking at it here when Mega Man has his buster pointed at the Met with his helmet cracked open. Which, whatever cracked open a Met's helmet, by the way, I want to know because I need to do that in the games. Please hook me up.
It's the power gear.
But like you can see there's a bunch of buildings that are just silhouetted. Like, I don't know, maybe just a little bit of detail to show walls missing or smoke in the background. Just again, Archie I think kind of spoiled me, and I know there was a lot of detail in those comics.
Yeah, I'm looking at the shot. It's probably the same one you're looking at. Mega Man's pointing at the Metar. There's Rush in the background. Looks kind of deformed in the background. Not a lot of like texture type detail. It's just very flat. I will say that is a criticism I was gonna bring up. Is like there are some panels that are just absolutely phenomenal, the detail, but then some others are just kind of inconsistent. It looks like it was rushed, and some of the faces are a little bit inconsistent as well. Like one panel looks super cool, and then you have like a derpy face in another panel. Especially like there's one from Mega Man. It's like he's turning around looking at Torchman up on the rooftop. It looks a little derpy. There's a couple other examples like that.
I don't know what they had against Roll when they made this issue, but her face was not done justice.
No, it wasn't.
She was very surprised. Huh. Well, they made up for it with Rush next to her, just waking up and being the funniest boy.
I want to know how his neck is moving like that.
He's a robot dog.
You know
Leave
what?
him
Fair
alone.
point.
Yeah, don't worry
He
about
turns
it.
into a jet borg. Well, I guess I'm more used to more abstract backgrounds with comics and stuff. So maybe it's just it's like I see where it could use more, but it's not something that bothers me personally, because I think it's the emotion that everything else is showing. Like it's showing the important stuff, and the background is just the background, And then when you do need to see stuff, when it's more quiet, then it's like, oh, okay, there's the rubble, like Mega Man's over here holding Rush. You can see, devastation behind him because that's important to the scene right there. But it I don't know, it kind of feels like a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of thing. Like, would it be way too cluttered and crowded if there was a lot going on in the background, or like where should the focus be? I don't know. I'm not a comic artist. I couldn't tell you. But I do definitely see the merit, and I accept your criticism.
Understandable. I say this as a joke, but I was raised in a comic shop because I pretty much was. So, like, I'm very critical of how some comics look.
Well, I'm glad you're here then, because you can provide a perspective that some of us here don't have. Like me, I don't read much comics at all unless it's Mega Man related. So there you go. I've read the Archie comics, but I don't have a lot of experience with comics outside of that.
I think another thing with this is they really had to cram in a lot of ideas and not give it time to breathe. So it's just focus on what is important, which is what the characters are doing. Because as of right now, we don't know if this series is going to continue, so I guess they got to just throw everything out there. There's 2 bosses. One of them's defeated. Now there's one. Oh, he's blowing up the city. Rush is almost dead. Oh no, there's a sad moment with the Met. They got to get everything. And
yeah, like
I think that's definitely part of it.
For a one-shot, which is what it's apparently supposed to be.
For now.
It does do a lot to kind of get you wanting more. Which brings me to a question I had about like the very last page, where, we thought Blastman was down for the count, but nope, he gets back up and says, let's kick things into second gear with a to be continued at the bottom. Wait, there's more? This ain't a one-shot after all? What's going on here?
From what I've heard, I think it's a testing the waters and seeing which of the 5 series sells well, and then focusing on that. So if I was a betting man, I would say probably Classic and X are like shoe-ins to get a couple more issues.
Yeah, from my understanding, X is the most likely to continue. This is based off the interviews I had with Proto Man, the writer of the X comics, as well as Matt Moylan, the director of publishing.
That's where I got this information. I got it from you.
Yeah. Apparently what they said was... I say apparently, but this is what I thought they actually said. But basically, Archie did so much classic already that Udon wanted to do something unique on their end. And so far they're settling on X to be their unique series to continue on from the timeline series once that's done. But yeah, it really will come down to sales as well. Like, let's say Legends gets a lot of sales somehow. Maybe that will continue. So definitely still support the books. But yeah, like X is gonna be the thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like their anchor series, I think.
I hope that Zero sells really well, because I know Ian Flynn can be controversial in some conversations, but he has done no wrong, in my opinion, for Mega Man.
Yeah, I like his work.
I just want to see him
Archie
do more.
comics.
Yeah, he's everything I've seen from him is something I like. And he just seems like a cool dude, and that always gets bonus points.
Yeah, he's pretty chill, and he knows the source material well.
I mean, that's what you need,
I do agree.
Definitely looking forward to seeing how the Zero comic turns out, knowing that he's behind it.
Yeah. Oh man,
And
especially
knowing, too,
after
that
those
it's
preview pages.
Yeah, the fact that it's between 1 and 2, while Zero's wandering the wilderness, so good.
It's like the 0 1.5 that NT Crates almost did. That's gonna be neat.
Oh yes.
It's gonna be. I'm glad we're gonna get to see El Piso building the resistance, and I hope there's gonna be so much more dialogue in it than what there was kind of in this classic Mega Man one. I want it to feel more engaging with the world, world building or something like that.
Definitely. Well, I think we covered it all. Actually, we even talked about the Easter egg with Symphony City. Was there anything else in terms of cool details or Easter eggs you guys liked throughout this?
I just like Rush's face when he's waking up. I think it's a cool detail. It's not an Easter egg at all, but when I first saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I'll tell you guys my first reaction to the first page where they show the Mega Man icon. My first reaction before reading the words was like, wait, Mega Man gets a bat signal?
That's what I thought too. As soon as I turned the page, I was like, oh, okay, we're doing this.
Amazing.
But then, like, you read the words, it's like, oh, they're luring him out. Okay, I guess that works.
The bad guys are using his bat signal.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know how much of an Easter egg it technically is, but one of the covers has a Mega Man 11 style Proto Man.
Oh, I was wanting to get into that.
And I think that's pretty cool to see.
I hope that is foreshadowing for something in the future, because I want to see Proto Man and Bass in Mega Man 11 style. We were robbed, but seeing this, like, is so cool. That's probably my favorite of the alternate covers.
Yeah, that's very significant indeed.
Mine is, there's another one of Proto Man on the back. And I want to say I read this on Twitter or something, where like he has his helmet off, and the artist drew him without his glasses on because the glasses are on the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
And when they submitted it to Capcom, they came back and said, no. You put the glasses on his head.
I saw that thing that you're talking about, that comment. I was like, well, at least they care.
No, babe, the glasses stay on.
Do you want the glasses on or off? Off, please. Too bad.
Oh, man.
But
Also,
Imagine
just
not wearing
Tango
glasses.
appreciation in this issue.
yes, you know, we were thumbing through that, and my wife was like, "They have a cat." I was like, "Yeah, it's Tango."
Only in like one game that counts. They don't
He's
like
still
to,
around?
They don't like to remember Tango.
We
well,
remember.
at least Udon did. That's what counts.
I find it very weird too. This issue doesn't have Dr. Light,
Wow, yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't.
or I
Like-
guess Dr. Wily too. I think he's mentioned in it, but there's no Dr. Light or Wily.
Hey,
Yeah,
they're
the
saving.
only mention of Wily is like, oh, the doc wants us to get the double gear system.
They're saving Dr. Light for the Mega Man X issue. Like in that preview picture, he's like,
Oh my
he's like
gosh!
built like a tank.
When he shows
I
up
can't-
looking like Danny Phantom's dad.
Yeah.
Well, see, you know, like no one that's alive in 21XX really knows what Dr. Light looked like, so he kind of fudged the numbers a little bit. So if anybody saw the holograms, be like, "Oh man, I respect you."
I can't wait for
He's not a little
the
short
X
Santa
comic.
Claus. Dude, I'm so excited. Not to get too off
Yeah.
topic for this, but man, like it feels like it's gonna be really good. Like that one, I'm going in with way too high expectations.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm just
Maybe,
really
maybe it's
excited.
because I interviewed the guy that wrote it, but he really sold me on the X comic. So that's my most anticipated one.
Mm.
Like it seemed
I'm-
like he
I'm
knew
pretty
what he was
excited.
doing.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
excited
it
for
was
the
really
X
cool
one.
to see. Go what?
I'm pretty excited for the X one just because my main complaint seems to be addressed in it.
What's that?
Yep.
Background.
Backgrounds. I can see
Oh,
the
yeah, of
snowy
course.
hills. I can see the perspective of where Mega Man is when he's moving around. Or I
That's
guess it's not
true.
Mega Man. You know what I'm talking about.
I like that in the preview pages we see X getting hit by every single enemy, and I was like, oh, this is my first time playing. I feel this.
Basically, yeah, it's his first mission after the intro stage in the comic. So yeah, that makes sense.
It's so cool.
Yeah, like the X comic literally starts after like he gets back from getting his butt handed to him by Vile. That's what you kind of see in the preview images, like Zero coming in, like, hey, Joe Penguin's causing trouble, let's go get him. Oh, by the way, thank God.
But not you, buddy. You stay at the base, my little boobop.
They actually go together in the comic, so that's gonna be interesting to see.
I like that. I hope it says something about like Zero specifically doing something different there. You know, because like I am gonna be not upset but disappointed if Zero is with X when they find the capsule. Because no one knowing about them except for X is kind of a cool thing. You know, because then everybody just kind of gets the, oh, that's who made you, you know. It just, I don't know, it feels weird, but
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm excited. Do it right, even though it's already written.
The way that Proto Man explained it to me was like X and Zero get on the scene, but then they split up, kind of like they do in the Sigma stages later in the game. They split up to do their own thing, and then they kind of converge back together when it's time for the boss. So that's probably how it's gonna go.
Okay.
That's cool. That'll be nice, especially because we get to see X10, which nobody ever acknowledges.
Yay!
Yeah, glad that's in.
Yeah, I'm glad they kept that attention to detail. I remember that being a talking point when that one cover came up, and it's in the X2 body. It's like, oh.
And the answer was, don't worry about the comic, or don't worry about the covers. You should only worry about A and B when it comes to canonicity.
Yeah.
That's very true. Like, even in Marvel Zombies, Magneto was on a cover as a zombie. Never in the comic. In fact, I don't think he ever got converted in the comic. I don't remember. I don't think he ever became a zombie. But yeah, he was only on a cover, so never take covers at face value.
Yep. Well, other than that, is there anything else you guys want to add before we sign out?
I do have something. There is I don't know if it'd be a missed opportunity, but I feel like the newscaster. Oh yeah, we're back to the classic thing. X can wait until next time. But the newscaster could have been Chunny Baby, but it wasn't.
Oh, that would have been a nice detail.
Because
or it could have been Charlie.
Udon already does the Street Fighter thing, so.
Yeah, like if you flip to the back of the issue. There's literally Street Fighter ads at the end of the issue when you flip to the back.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, Chun-Li was off that day.
They could have done Charlie too, because Charlie from Street Fighter was in Mega Mix, I think, as a reporter.
Oh, really?
During the Battle and Chase story.
Okay. I haven't read Mega Mix in a long, long time.
I need to get back to that one.
It's good stuff.
That'll be something we can talk about sometime. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Sure.
Yeah, but the best page in this comic is the preview for Rockman San. Everybody should read that. I will not stop singing his praises.
I keep trying to find one anytime I go out. I haven't found one yet.
Man. Yeah, it does look really good, though. I'm glad that they actually localized it, because it looked really funny in the Japanese pages, but having an official translation is really cool.
Yeah, I didn't think those two series would ever in a million years make it across. And here we are still waiting on Mega Mission, but well, I'm never letting this candle die.
Well, apparently the candle ain't snuffed out yet, according to the interview ahead.
I want to believe.
I was even asked if they should do black and white or color for the Mega Missions.
Porque no los dos, you know? You gotta do both. One is a special edition. Just get the black and white one out there, and then eventually do a color one. Just do like Mega Mix.
Yeah?
I agree with that. Mostly because I just want to read it.
Oh, I do too.
Just give me it. I need the lore.
Well, do you guys think...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, do you guys think if Classic does get a continuation, Like, should they pick up directly where this story was, or just kind of start a new thread where they can kind of take their time? What do you guys feel about that?
Ooh, I feel like, yeah, because it's quite the cliffhanger they left it on. I feel like they do need to resolve that. But at the same time, if they're going to go ahead and do a full-on classic comic line, maybe they should just like start from the beginning of 11 or something? I don't know. That's tough.
Wherever they start from, I think it should be far enough into the timeline that we have enough of the side characters that can pop in and out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think just starting with 11 is a fun idea.
Yeah, as long as they sprinkle in some Proto Man and base, I'll be happy.
Thank
if they
you.
Start from
Someone
the
said it.
beginning, if they start from the beginning again with 1, it's just gonna feel like they're stepping on Archie Comics' toes there. And they're already reprinting the Archie comics.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. Yeah, I would personally probably keep going with this and devote like half the issue to finishing Blastman, and then just adding just layers of detail to the story, and then cliffhanger with I don't know, let's see, Tundra and the yellow one. Forgot his name. Fuse, thank you. Tundra and Fuse. Why not? Because Tundra's the best and Fuse has a cool hat.
He is the best. You're correct.
Thank you.
It's even better
that would be what I
Cossack.
Yeah. I think that's cool. They remembered the boy.
They did remember the man. It's crazy.
He breaks the stage select screen because he's too cool.
I get it. You know, speaking of stage select screen, I gotta say, I love the main covers on each one with all the bosses in the background. It's so cool, and it's like a uniquely Mega Man thing. And I think it's great. I love that each series is getting that. Like, that's definitely the one I'm gravitating towards on each series. And then, you know, like definitely get A, and then, you know, maybe I'll run into another one here or there, but I just want to focus on the A's. I think they're super cool.
Oh man, did we talk about this? Like the whole process of getting our hands on the books.
Oh man.
Oh no, we talked about it before we started recording. Yeah, let's.
We did.
It's
some
fun stories,
I guess.
All right.
So so the original release date for Mega Man Timelines #1 was in May, directly after Free Comic Book Day. But what happened was I went to the comic book store on Free Comic Book Day to get #0, and then I asked them about pre-orders, and they said the pre-orders are online. You got to go on our website and order through there. That's what I did, but when I got on the website, it said that the pre-order date for Classic had already passed, so that I can only do X and On now.
Aww.
So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just pre-order through Udon's website instead. About that, so like right after that happened, fast forward a couple weeks, the comic book got delayed completely.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, I had a little like glimpse into this because I was interviewing Matt Moylan, and he even said like, we're having some delays with the book, we might have to push it back. It's like, oh no. So yeah, they delayed it by a full month, and because of that, now my comic book store was gonna get Classic #1 in, but I already pre-ordered through Udon, so well, I guess I'm gonna wait for the shipment then. I don't want another cover A. So that's all they were gonna have anyway.
Mm.
Because I didn't opt in for cover B, so I just waited. It took a few days. Unfortunately for like some of the other friends that couldn't make it today, like 112 and TGP. There's 112 got theirs in finally, but it was a little too late. They had to go on vacation. TGP still waiting though. He said it's coming July 10th. It's
Jeez.
currently July 6th as we're recording this, so he couldn't make it. We were going to have on this discussion, but yeah, he got bodied by the mail.
Man, yeah, we were supposed to record this last week until you were like, mine hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to have to miss the recording time because I just don't have the book.
I gotta miss my own show. I'm sorry.
Well, let's put you guys together and record. Go.
Well, I have to tell my horrible story of getting this comic. I went down the road to the comic book store and they had it on release day, and I picked it up and I brought it home. It was torture, man.
I get it.
Well,
HQ, did you have any problems picking yours up?
I went down the road to the comic shop, drove past a cookie crumble, got the grumblers for a cookie, had to fight that urge. That was my struggle.
that's terrible.
I saw through the window. I think they had like a French toast cookie or something, and I was like, dang, that looks good. Must be strong. Must get the Mega Man.
Eyes on the road, eyes on the road.
Stay
Keep
focused.
eyes on the prize. How's he?
Worth it.
Curse you, Wiley, you knew my weakness. Pastries.
There's one thing that I did want to bring up about this book that I forgot earlier, and it is that this feels like a really high quality book. Like, the paper feels really good, the cover feels like really smooth, like it's like it feels matte and not glossy at all. I really like it.
I did notice that. It's like, wow, this feels even better than the Archie issues I had back in the day.
Yeah, those felt more just, I guess, comic book cover, like standard comic book cover, and this feels like it just feels like, to my hands, a little bit more premium.
Yeah.
I
Feels
guess
like
I
you're gonna
didn't
get into an adventure.
really notice anything like that.
I haven't held a comic book since like the issue number 0. That was like the first time I held a comic book in a long time, so maybe that's why.
I don't know, it feels like just that little step up. You know, Mega Man deserves it. He's had a bad couple years. He deserves something nice. Hang in there, buddy.
One day.
Picture of Tango holding onto a stick.
Hang in there.
Also, as a quick aside, adding to my issues of getting the issue.
The issue.
Can we just talk about the shipping costs from Udon's website? So the book is $5. I paid $8.84 of shipping.
Jeez. Is that coming from Canada? Like, is that where it distributes from?
That's a good question, actually. All it says is ground advantage shipping, so...
Well, the advantage is that it's a little bit late.
I guess so, but... Why is the shipping more than the cost of the comic book itself? I'm not sure. Maybe it's because of the small package. I don't know how shipping works. But that's interesting.
And on top of that, there's like 15 covers of the book, 9 of which are exclusive to like specific comic shops.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit out of hand. Like, I'm all for having multiple covers, but so many exclusives to shops I've like never heard of. I assume these are just online shops. Like, I know the Udon shop, like that makes sense, but you know, like,
there was one variant I was reading about that's exclusive to a physical store, and it's the only store of that kind in the entire world. It's just this one location.
Man, they must have
That's
a deal or something.
expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be rare really quick.
Little do they know, I printed out the picture and glued it onto the front of mine. No!
This is my Dollar General issue. You can tell by the quality.
This is my UPS store issue, because that's where I got it from. It was definitely printed here. This is my public library issue. I printed it at the public library. I think this comic was neat. I am excited for the other stuff, but it's weird to be excited for the upcoming things because it's different artists and different writers on each one. You know, so it's not like this is indicative of the next one or the next one or the next one. But I think with how they handled this, you know, like, gripes aside, I think something is going at least right enough to be excited.
I agree.
Yep.
I'm mostly excited for Zero and Legends.
I'm excited for Legends too.
Legends
especially
is gonna be really
because
interesting.
it's by the biggest Legends fan that I know. Personally.
What?
So.
I'm right here. I didn't write it.
Wait a second.
Okay, the second biggest.
That and the artist is Patrick Spaz, which is like, oh, please give me more.
Yeah, like
Oh yeah,
remember
Spaziante is
Dreamwave?
really just wonderful.
I still have all my Dreamwave comics.
Me too. I've never read them, but I have them.
But yeah, that's a double-edged sword with having a different writer and artist on each of these. Makes sense, but you know, like HQ was saying earlier that already from the previous the X comic, it looks like they fixed kind of that backgrounds issue he had. And yeah, that's a benefit of like having a different artist on each one, but because it is different people each time, we don't really know what to expect until we get them.
Yeah, and one
That's
thing.
true.
One thing also is that I assume that all 5 of these issues were being at least worked on in some way at the same time. So in that respect, Legends better be incredible just because it's got the most time to really clean up, you know, all the backgrounds, all the everything, you know? Like, it's got quite a few extra months to really put that polish on there. So hopefully, you know, we'll see something completely amazing. Man, I just want Legends to do well. Like, as someone who is really a late boarder on the Legends train, it's wonderful. Just keep it going. It's so charming. I love it.
Yeah, it didn't do too hot back in the day, but between then and today, the games have now gotten this cult classic status amongst a lot of people. So let's see that show through. Like, let's see the people show up and show their support.
We need 100,000 strong issues sold.
Hey, I get it.
That would be big, actually,
Yeah.
if that does happen.
Well, here's hoping. I mean, you know, hopefully people that were on the fence about this one, you know, seeing us talk about it. You know, we didn't in-depth spoil everything, and I think even if you know what's going on going in, it's still worth picking one up and checking it out. A, $5, you know, you can miss a sandwich for a day, and B, the art's like really cool to just thumb through and look at. So
Yeah, even the art alone is worth it, in my opinion.
It's true. I could have paid $5 for a cookie at Cookie Crumble,
well, here we go. We're back at the
and
cookies.
instead I got a comic.
But yeah, Coleman hit on a good point. Like, with these discussions, yeah, we basically spoil what happens, but you really got to see it for yourself to believe, especially because I'm not going to be like scanning any pages or anything. We're just going to stick with the preview pages for the visuals in the video, so you're not going to see the full picture until you read it for yourself.
And it's worth it. It's a little collectible that doesn't take up much room because it's a little flat book. You know, you've seen comic books. You know what they look like. So this is it's definitely worth picking up, and support your local comic book store if you're able.
Coleman, I've never seen a comic book in my life. Can you please describe one in vivid detail?
It is rectangular and pages, also staples, color, text.
Maybe.
Oh god, there's
Number
staples
one.
showing on my book. Gotta dock off a point for that.
My staples aren't aligned on mine. That's not a grade of 9. I can't accept this.
I thought it would be held together with cookies. I got confused in the conversation.
Alrighty. Anything else, guys, before we sign off?
Support Mega Man Timelines if you're able. It's fun.
Do it.
If you don't, Gutsman's ass is going to show up in the middle of the night.
Dun-na. Can you imagine the jump scare page turn? Just one page, just gets right.
Oh my gosh, make it a pop out just like.
Dun-na.
Well, all right. I gotta use the Gutsman's ass sticker as a bookmark so that I can be thumbing through me. Oh.
Oh man.
But ShadowRock, thank you for having us. That was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
My pleasure. It's really fun discussion today, and really glad that you guys decided to join in for it.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah.
Well, so have to see if you guys can come back for X next month, and hopefully we can also have other people like TGP and 112 come back as well. Because hopefully we'll have our whole like acquiring the comics on time issue sorted out by then.
Yeah, I will move heaven and earth to be part of the X discussion.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that one. But guys, until then, where can we find you at, Coleman?
I am on the ColeFam YouTube channel. You can probably search ColeManX and find me, but it'll be linked. I trust ShadowRock to do that. But yeah, ColeFam, ColeManX, that's me, baby.
Awesome. And where can they find you at, RockmanHQ?
Cookie Crumble.
True.
Nah, you can find me by my username. Same as what it is. Pretty easy to find. YouTube, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it nowadays.
No, X is next
I'm
month.
around. my bad. My apologies.
We call it classic until next month.
Oh man.
All right, I'm done with the recording. I'm tapping out after that one.
Yes, I did it.
The deed has been done.
Yes.
Alright, everybody. Thank you all for watching. And if you haven't already, you can check out our last discussion on Mega Man number 0. That was done with 112. And stay tuned next month for the X discussion. Heck yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and don't forget to plug the interviews one more time, because that gave a lot of insight on these comics.
That's true. If you want to know like more information on the behind the scenes and everything like that, at least some of the information that we discussed today, we have interviews with the X Timelines writer, Daniel Arsenal, Mr. Protoman, and also Matt Boylan, the director of publishing at Udon, but he's also writing the ZX comic. So he talked a little bit about that too in that interview. So if you want some insights on everything going on around those comics, definitely check them out. They were very informative. Like, I learned a lot from them. So I hope you do too. Till then, folks, rock on. Have yourselves a great time zone.
Bye.